Hey there, you found us. This is You're Doing Good. And this is the second episode of You're Doing Good. And we highlight people who are doing good and organizations that are doing good. Last time, which was our inaugural episode, we had the second step on. And tonight, I'm really excited. We have folks from the Waban Library Center on. So join me in welcoming. We've got Alice Jacobs and Susan Beer. Welcome to both of you. And Alice is an old timer with us, and she was on when the show was That's the Law. She came on because I found excuses to have people I wanted to have on, even though it was supposed to be about a law talk show. And do you know when it was?
Was it 10 years ago?
Yes, exactly. It was 2015 that you came on, 10 years
boy.
ago. I know.
Okay.
Yep. So anyway, welcome to both of you. And Alice is the volunteer director of the Waban Library Center, and Susan is a volunteer. And I thought that would be good to have a little cross-section of who was going to be here. So Alice, tell us a little bit. Waban has forgotten in the past 10 years. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, how you got involved in library work.
Okay. I got to the Waban Library Center through the usual means of having nothing to do with such a thing beforehand. I taught sociology for years at BU and Bentley and Leslie. And I had my own consulting practice in management development and career training, and worked for the Central Artery Tunnel Project in its day and enjoyed that a lot. But when the city of Newton had to close all 10 branches of Newton libraries, leaving the Waban branch there but closed, I and a lot of other people on the Waban Improvement Society thought, no, we can't just have this empty building that was purpose-built for a library in 1930 and has been a library since 1930. So we got together and we formed a committee, and we've been doing the work and keeping the library open and vital since 2010. This is our 15th year.
15 years.
Yeah.
Wow. And what was the reason that Newton closed all the branches? What was the supposed, was it money? Or
I think it was money. Yeah.
Well, they built the big library.
Right.
So the idea was that they put all the resources into one basket,
Yeah.
and then decided that they would close the other libraries.
That's my understanding.
That's our understanding.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And we figured out the three of us are Waban girls.
Yeah.
So Susan lives in Waban also. And tell us how you got involved in the library.
So I, at some point, decided I wanted to volunteer locally, and I have somewhat of a theater background, and I saw that they had, and I love kids, and I saw that they had story time, and they were looking for readers. And so I volunteered for that and have been there for over 8 years now, telling stories to our littlest members.
Oh, we call them little members.
Little
that's
members,
so cute.
our littlest members.
That's
yeah.
so cute. Well, you don't get to just skip by. I have somewhat of a background in theater because I have a little bit of a background. So I just want to hear exactly what your background was in theater.
I did a lot of nonprofit work for many years, most notably in this area, working for the Boston Latin School Foundation and Association, and then decided at some point after running organizations that I was a little tired of the nonstop, many hours, and went to sort of producing events. So I produced sort of soup to nuts events, and then decided that the most important thing, people were spending a lot of money on events, but not so much on program. And so I kind of segued into creating programs. And in 2013, I graduated from Emerson with a degree in theater and arts and education and community. So I was able to then use all of that to sort of pump up my programs, I think take more risks. And because my whole sensibility is that I'm an audience advocate, that I'm thinking about, we all have things to do and places to go. So if you're going to go out for a night to some organization's event, it should be really something that tells you, educates you about the organization and makes you feel good and be entertained.
Excellent. That's what we try to do, what I'm trying to do on this show. So you could, well, who hires you? What kind of? So
I've worked for almost lots and lots of the private schools in the area, including Andover, Exeter, Milton, Chestnut Hill School, Carroll School, Boston Latin School. So I've worked with a lot of the schools. I've worked with a lot of the hospitals, Baptist, some of the universities. So a lot of different. Even before that, I did a lot more corporate stuff. But it's a much nicer schedule to work for the nonprofits.
Very nice, excellent. So you've been involved, what'd you say, 7-8 years with the library?
With the library, mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fabulous. Okay, let's talk about the library.
Okay.
What it is, what it does. Why don't you begin, Alice?
Well, we have a small, charming building that has the best books in town. If you went to a bookstore, you would find the same books that we get because we buy books constantly for adults and children. We have adult programs. We have yoga. We have Studio Saturday, which we just started, where people...
Wait. Let's just... We have yoga.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Once a week? Or?
Once a week, yeah.
And how many people can come? And can I come?
Yes.
I want to start yoga.
You certainly can. It's in our building.
Yeah.
We just push the tables aside.
Yeah.
You have your yoga mat, and our yoga teacher is terrific, certified. And it's Wednesday mornings from 8:45 to 9:45.
Wow. Okay.
And then we open for business at 10. So we're a multifaceted library, but our basic thing is books. And we have the children's and the adult.
You know, I think of it as children's books. I don't
No.
think of it. Tell me.
Oh, no.
What's the breakdown in the library? Probably children's books to adult books.
Like 70% adult, 30% children's.
Okay.
Yeah. Because even though we love kids and we have a lot of kid programming, adults are readers, and we're trying to nurture that in the face of the internet onslaught.
Right.
And if you walk into the library, you would see, when you walk in the front is sort of where you check in and out of your books.
Right.
To the left is where the kids program is, and it looks like a little nook, two little nooks for
Right.
children's books, younger and older. And then to the right is this vast room that has all of the different books, and there's these shelving that has the new books out. We have all of the newspapers and the magazines, and I mean it's really up to the minute, and big long tables that people can come and they either read or they do work. They bring their computers,
And you can bring your coffee.
Yeah.
And your
and
your margarita if you must. You know, you can do these things now. Yeah.
And when I had you on 10 years ago,
Yeah.
you were collaborating with Uganda. Is that still happening, or is that?
That lady has moved to Uganda, so she doesn't need to fundraise anymore
Oh, okay.
at our library. But
Right.
but there are other nonprofits that we welcome and do mutual events with.
Now, I had before you had Family Game Day.
Yeah.
When, what?
Okay, it's fabulous. We just had it last Saturday.
Okay.
Bingo, board games, prizes. The whole family comes. It's the first Saturday of the month from 10 to 12. Snacks.
Fabulous. How many people would come to
We
something
had
like
58 people last
Oh, my
Saturday.
goodness.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
Dads, children, whatever.
And you have story time?
And story time.
twice a week, and we
With-
have two readers at the moment. Another lovely volunteer, Stephanie.
yes.
And kids come at 11, and it's from 11 to 11:30, 11:45, and we have puppets, and we have lots of different books that we read. We sing songs. We have instruments. It's a wild time.
And do you read the book upside facing?
Oh,
so you read it this,
absolutely.
and
Yes.
how do you read it? How can you read it?
Well, I know a lot of the stories, and sometimes I have to make up different things because I can't remember. So, or I'm like this, I do
Yeah.
this move.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
they
fun.
love it, and it's
And
so
she
funny. The
uses
kids like
puppets.
to do it, and I have
And
a lot
she
of
uses
puppets. Yeah.
She's just like Sesame Street. She's an Elmo.
Oh, that's fabulous.
And we have stickers too. Everyone
And
gets a sticker.
How do you decide which books to stock in the library? Because you said we've got all the newest books, and you go by the New York Times bestseller list, or what do you do?
To some extent, we do. We also watch and see what is popular at Newton Free Library, the big library on Homer Street, and just sort of constantly looking at the the news about what is hot and what's not. And we have a selection committee that meets every 6 weeks.
Fabulous. And you have both fiction, nonfiction. So yeah.
Cookbooks, travel
lot of
books,
cookbooks.
everything.
I finished Barbara Streisand's autobiography, which I think I threw my back out reading that book. It's 970 pages.
Yes.
Okay. And it was so heavy. I went to New York. I was taking it to New York. Oh, my God. But right now I'm reading the most fabulous book. Well, you know what? I'll tell you, too, Newton. It's called The Hypocrite. Did you ever hear of this book? The Hypocrite?
We may have it.
Oh,
but tell me what you thought.
I haven't quite finished it yet, but the writing is so excellent. It's British. She's a London or something, a British writer. Just fabulous. I'll put you on to it.
Thank you.
Sometimes you just want to read good writing.
Yes.
And this is astonishingly good writing. And the story keeps you going.
Yeah.
It keeps you going. Anyway, enough about that. And who gives the book talks? How do you?
We search around and try to find an author who would be of interest to the community, and that's how we do it. We're having Allegra Goodman, the noted author from Cambridge, who will be coming in May, talk about her new book, Isola.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
All right. And so what any other programs you want to talk about that we didn't mention? Or?
Oh, we just started a program for adults on every other Saturday from 1 to 3. If you do an art at home or paint, do a craft, knit, or just feel like hanging out with people who are painting, we have an open studio. We cover the tables with oilcloths. You bring your equipment, your brushes, your paints, and for 2 hours, it's your studio.
Saturday, 1 to 3?
Yes.
I might come this Saturday.
Come along. We'd love to have you.
If I can get out of my house, which is an ice skating rink right now. Newton, we're taping this in the middle of the coldest spell we've had, and all of Newton is frozen over. It's just hideous. But anyway, I may come to that.
I'd love to have you. I'll email you and remind you.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many women show up at women?
Well, we allow men.
Yeah.
We had 8 last Saturday. Yeah.
And you just schmooze. You paint and you schmooze. What a great thing. And you can bring your margarita. Okay, this is sounding good.
And your book clubs.
Okay.
Don't forget the
and
2
we have
book clubs.
Yeah. We have the Mystery Book Club, which is the second Wednesday of each month at 10 o'clock. It's led by a retired librarian from the Newton Free Library, and everybody reads a mystery and discusses it, and they love it. They never leave.
Yeah.
And we have the Kids Book Club and the Middle School Book Club, and they meet once a month at night, and led by a woman who's quite into this literature. And we're looking to start a young adult book club for teens. So if you know of any teens who would really like to talk about books and have any free time, let me know.
My grandchildren are readers.
All right.
They're readers. Their grandmother, the other grandmother, is a famous author. So Elizabeth Berg.
Of course.
So that's their other grandmother.
Okay. So two notable.
She's my Machatenister.
2 notable grandmas.
Well, yeah. But so they grew up reading, and with tons of they don't even watch television very much. Of course, now, as you say, the phones have taken over.
Yeah.
But they're readers. They are readers. Let me, we'll stay in touch and see if they're interested in that.
That would be great.
Because that would really work out well. So, why are libraries important to a community?
I'm going to talk, and then Sue has some very good thoughts. At this moment, a lot of things that we all thought were basic and fundamental are being questioned. I think a library is a neutral space that people can gather in and meet. There are many meetings that go on at night, Waban Area Council, etc. But you don't have to, you can check your ego at the door, and you can just come in and enjoy a place where free ideas are available. We have no censorship of any of our books. And I think that libraries have been around for thousands of years, and they have to be. It's essential.
You know, we're living in a post-factual era now, right? Where with the current disgusting president, you get to make, and you heard it here first, Newton, you get to make up whatever facts you want and call them facts. The latest one I heard was that he said to Zelensky, you never should have started, or he said about Zelensky, you never should have started this war. Just so post-factual and so anti-factual. And it's occurring to me that libraries are a repository of facts.
Yes, incontrovertible facts, in black and white, written down.
It doesn't matter whether it's written down or it's on tape or you caught him on film. Doesn't matter. It just says the opposite. Anyway, you had some other thoughts, Susan.
Just to piggyback on that a little bit, there's also that sense of inclusivity that is so important, that anybody can come in. Like, it doesn't matter. I know when I'm there to either pick out books or get things collected, everybody comes. And, you know, whether it's our youngest patrons or our oldest patrons and everybody in between, you know, you can coexist. And there is just that sense, you know, I don't know, I grew up going to the library with my mother. I grew up in West Roxbury. So, you know, I just have fond memories of going in there, and Miss Pavicki, who was the children's librarian, you know, was always finding us books. And I think that's what we, you know, Alice and all of the volunteers that we have really created that inclusivity feeling. When you walk in, you're welcome, and everybody's welcome.
And here it creates a sense of community.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is so important.
Which is wonderful. Right? So do you track numbers on how many people avail themselves of the library, or can you keep track of anything like that?
We do, and it varies a lot. Like for our 15th anniversary celebration, we had 110 people in and outside on the lawn and enjoying the ice cream truck and the balloon man. It was great. That was September. And Sue gets maybe 30 little ones and their handlers on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yeah.
And during the week, it's up and down. Saturday morning is very big. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. Okay, well, you should keep track of numbers. You should try to keep track, and I'll tell you why. It helps with fundraising, which we're going to talk about in a minute. You know, if you have statistics at your fingertips that you can say, well, we've served this many thousands of people this year, that we have this many visits per week, you know, that's helpful when you're trying to reach out. Before we get to that, though, I just want to discuss your connection to the city now. Do you... you're not funded by
no, because
the city.
we are a subset of the Waban Improvement Society's 501c3 tax identity. Okay. So we're a tenant, and we pay rent to the city.
Okay.
Every month.
And from what I understand, you're not paid. No, but what'd you tell me? The cleaning woman?
Cleaning woman and our bookkeeper are our only paid employees. 30 of us are unpaid. And most of us have been doing it for many years.
Yeah.
And nobody has to say, get in here.
Yes, people love it. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
And did things change? I used to vote. You know, that was my polling place.
Right.
So how did that, because now it's no longer the polling place.
Right.
So how did that change
It's
things?
been moved to Zervis School.
Right.
There were a variety of reasons. One, it's too small. And when we came to the national election this last November, it was too obvious that they couldn't fit everybody in.
Right.
The other is that it's not monitored enough in a library, and they can do that better in the Zervis gym. I'd love to have it back, but it's just not feasible.
Well, it's a way to get people in
I
who
know.
Otherwise might not come to the library, and they kind of see what goes on there.
No, I think libraries need to put themselves out there, and that's why I'm so happy to be here talking about it. It's your place. It's free. All the books are free. You can get 10 books at a time.
And is it the same? It's the same library card you use for the.
No,
the
we have our own card.
You have your own Waban Library
there
card.
There is no Newton Library other than the Newton Free Library That's the one. We are a separate one. And in Auburndale, they were able to reconstitute as their own library too.
All right, so I can't order a book from you that you get from the Central Newton Library.
No.
It's just you're unto yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
But if you want a book, and
You'll see that I get it,
You
Alice.
bet.
Well, now that I've made you a superstar, I mean, there's no question, right?
Yeah. No, it's interesting. You think that with people looking at their phones all day, that people aren't reading. They're reading. If you want a certain book right now, and try to get it from the Newton Free Library, there are 300 holds on it. But you come to our place, and you can have it in 3 weeks.
Yeah. What are the popular books right now? Newton wants to know.
Yes.
Don't
I
they?
think Frozen River, the Frozen River is very good and very hot. What are you reading?
No, well, I'm just thinking about all of the. I have 2 books right now that I'm reading. One is, oh gosh, the I can't remember names of anything anymore, but it's about the woman and the man who she poses as a handicapped white man because she can pass as white, and her husband passes as her slave, and they go traveling across the country.
Is that Jim?
No, that's
No.
that James. No, that's a different
James.
one.
Yeah.
No, it's husband, wife, something like that.
Okay.
All right, now what
know.
I really want to know, because when
Terrible.
I go into like the Wellesley bookstore,
Yes.
they are fabulous
They
there, as
are.
you know. And I have been known to go in and say, well, I'm looking for a book, and I don't know the name of it, and I don't know what it's about. But like this woman who goes, and they say, oh, you mean, and they
Right.
know the book.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to be able to do that when I come in?
Yes.
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 Well, and also all of the new books, like this is what I was going to say, you can go on to our Instagram or into our website because they have pictures of all of the books that we're featuring.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm sort of thinking I can see the wall and it's like new book, new book, new book,
Yeah.
but I can't remember any of the
What it is.
names. Yeah.
We are talking to Alice Jacobs and Susan Beer, and they are both with the Waban
Library Center.
Waban
Center.
Library Center. And this is just fabulous, and it's such a great, I just love hearing about this. It's a wonderful resource, and for our little tiny Waban. And Waban's always special because we don't have parking meters, makes us very special. We have 5 or 6 delis in the 4 buildings that we have.
I know.
Most of which you buy food in Waban, but that's okay.
Go to the post office.
So tell us about if somebody, Newton's watching, so tell us about if somebody wants to volunteer.
We'd
What-
love
what
to
do they
have
do?
them.
Yeah, and how do they?
We train you on our pretty simple web interface, the internet that we use called Library World. You check books in and out. You help us shelve the books. You
Interface with the public.
Oh, yeah. You meet people who come in and are looking for a certain book, and you say, okay, I think you probably want to read, and then you walk over to the shelf.
And what are they? Like 3-hour stints, or how do you
It's
sign
2
up?
hours.
2 hours.
Yes, and it's every week.
Oh, so you want someone who's, if they say they're going to do Fridays from 10 to 12,
12.
they're going to be there Fridays from 10 to 12.
And that's what we need right now. We need somebody to help us on Friday from 10 to 12. Thank you, B.J.
That's hysterical. That's hysterical.
So if anybody's listening who has 2 hours and likes books and likes being in a really sunny, lovely place with people coming in who want to read 10 to 12 on Fridays.
And maybe they can remember more books than we can.
Oh, yes.
We read a lot, but
We
somehow
read constantly.
we need our Goodreads list with us too.
Yeah.
I'm free Fridays from. I've retired from law practice. I'm now an arbitrator and mediator, but I'm doing some other things. But
every Friday.
But I couldn't commit to every Friday.
No.
That's the problem.
That's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
people definitely swap off as well.
yes, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
We have a lot of swapping around.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so and you do you do the story reading. Is that what-
Myself and another woman, Stephanie.
Yeah.
And we both do. We kind of sometimes, we actually help each other out because if you're out of town, the other person takes it.
Yeah.
But that's every week.
And you say you have about 30 volunteers.
We have 30. Yes,
That's terrific.
it is.
That's
We're
terrific.
open 5 days a week.
Which
And
5?
Tuesday through Saturday.
Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We're there for the community, and we're free. So even though you don't have a card yet, come in, we'll make you a card.
Takes
And
2 seconds.
all the books we can't remember,
Yeah.
you've got them.
Why do you say we're free?
Because
are there
people
libraries?
might
Are there
feel-
libraries that charge money? I think
Yes.
of libraries as free.
Yes. And there are some libraries in Boston and Rhode Island that are subscription libraries.
Like the Athenaeum or something like
the
that.
Athenaeum.
Yeah.
But,
I see.
but the concept of a library is that it's free to the public.
right.
Just the fact that we're working for 15 years without getting a penny doesn't mean
Right.
that, there's something different there.
Right.
This is free.
All right. Now tell us about fundraising. How are you? How do you support yourselves?
Yeah. So we do a annual fundraising event in November before the Christmas season, and
What is that? A party? A dance?
no, not even that. We just send
Send
letters.
Send us money.
Yes,
Just
we just
mail
ask.
it in.
We just go like that. Here, we've been doing this all year. Can you help us out?
Okay.
We stand on the corner.
I'm going to help you out. I haven't gotten an appeal though. Wait a minute. Is it also noticed in the Waban? There's a little newsletter we get once in a while.
The
Gail
Improvement
Wintersteiner used to be
Society.
involved in that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't.
Waban
Well,
Improvement.
how do you do it? Where's your mailing list from?
It's basically Waban. That's what our mailing list is. But a lot of people who don't live in Waban per se, live in Newton or Brighton or wherever they
Yeah.
live, have library cards, and those people are on our list. If you have a library card with us, and we have 2,500 people who have library cards, that you're going to get a mailing.
Fabulous.
So step on over, and we'll give you a
I'm
card.
going to do all of the above.
Okay.
As soon as I can get out of my house, I'm going to do all of those things.
Okay.
All right. But so you have a fundraising event, meaning once a year you send out a mailer
Yes.
and says,
But on our website, you can donate at any time. There's
Okay.
a button, and you just hit
all right,
it.
and we're going to have the website will be up on the screen.
Great.
Several times during the show.
And
So
then there-
you can go to the website. You can. Does it have a thing to press that says donate here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. You can do that.
And we have a patio with bricks, inscriptions from whatever you feel like saying. And those are, you buy them.
How much is a brick?
100 or 250, depending on the size of the brick.
Okay.
And it all goes to the library. Remember,
Yeah.
we only subsist on donations.
Yeah.
We pay rent to the city.
Well, donations and the kindness of strangers. I mean,
Yes.
just also what you guys are doing. It's really selfless. It's selfless work and it's dedication and it's fabulous.
Thank you.
You know what? You're doing good.
Yay.
Thank you.
You are. You're both doing good. So, is there anything else you want Newton to know about the library? Because we're going to wrap up in a few minutes.
I would say come on by.
Come on by.
Come
Yeah.
on by. Whether you have little kids, we have in reading, we have everybody from 0, literally, they're just born.
Yeah.
And they come in.
Right. Oh,
and
we should say where the library is. I hope everybody knows, but it's kitty corner to the Starbucks in Waban Center.
Right. If you're standing at Starbucks and you have your coffee, you can walk over, cross Woodward, and we're at 1608 Beacon, ready to serve you.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a book club or you want to paint somewhere,
Yeah,
I
just
know.
come on down.
This is fabulous. So come on down. You are doing good, both of you and your organization. So thanks so much for coming on. And thank you for being with us. And we will see you next time on You're Doing Good. Good night.